William Hill sponsors Martin vs. Joshua on Sky Sports Box Office.
Radio Raheem here with Eddie Hearn.
Is that actually your name?
It's actually my name. It's brilliant.
What, Radio Raheem.
Radio Raheem.
R-A-D-I-O.
Yeah. Raheem, R-A-H-I-M.
No, that's all right.
The radio's kind of all right, too.
Yeah.
Look, it's a successful night for you, man. There's no other way to describe it. You've done what every promoter wants to do. You've got a heavyweight champion that is a fan favorite and a ticket seller. When that bell rung or that 10th call, you came sprinting into the ring with the fist. I've never seen you do that before. Can you talk to me about the emotion of that moment?
You haven't been watching me for very long. No, look, it was a lot of pressure tonight, because it's not like you're taking a chance with a guy who doesn't have a future, but has isn't a huge draw, and isn't a guy that the network is saying, "Whoa, you sure about this? We're building him nicely." But it was the opportunity that arose, and Anthony Joshua was the guy who said, "I want to take this now." And we all felt like it was the right move, but ultimately we had said to him, "You got to make this call too, because we can't just push you into this fight." And he saw that he could beat Charles Martin, and it's paid off big time.
What people don't think about when they look at fights is the promoter behind the fighter is a fighter himself, in a sense. You've invested quite a bit in several careers, you're gambling, and when something pays off, it pays off big. Well, obviously, Anthony Joshua's paid off big. What kind of position do you feel like tonight puts you in the arena, not just with the other heavyweight champions, but with the networks and being able to establish Anthony Joshua as a real, force in this sport?
Well, I think that, we've been talking to the American networks, for example, for a while now. Showtime were the ones that put their hand in their pocket and backed Anthony Joshua for this fight. I think they're mightily impressed. For sure, they must have seen just the reaction, and they would have been impressed. And we'll look to secure a long-term deal now with an American broadcaster. We know our future is with Sky, and that's been a fantastic journey for us already. So we're in great shape. I think now it's just the case of getting the event right, getting the opponent right, and letting him progress as a fighter. We know we're going to fill venues. We know we're going to do good numbers. Myself and the team will make sure we maximise all the revenues on that side. But he still has to grow as a fighter. And the bad news for the heavyweights is he's just going to get better and better every single fight. So I think Charles Martin took the fight on the basis that he was getting him at the right time. And he was probably right. That probably was the best time you could have fought Anthony Joshua after the Dylan White fight. But the next one will be even better, etc., etc. So by the time he gets to UNIFY, I can't see him being beaten.
You've already spoken of a date for the next fight, being July 9th. Obviously, that's the Klitschko-Fury rematch. So putting him up against that fight, like you did tonight with Pacquiao and Bradley, that's a statement unto itself. What makes you feel like you can win on that night, and what do you consider a win on that night?
We'll win on the night for sure. It's just a case of whether we want to go on that night. It was always a plan to go on that night, even prior to the announcement. Sky turned down the Klitschko-Fury fight because they were waiting on AJ. They see him as the future. He's their number one. So they wouldn't commit to that show until tonight was out of the way. Now, they couldn't have committed to July the 9th, so K2 and Hennessy made the right move by looking elsewhere and not waiting, because they wouldn't have got on, because AJ is the number one, and he's going to pick the dates from now. So, exciting times, and we could build something big on July 9th at Wembley.
And lastly, American fighters, it has to be said, are coming to the UK to get paydays. There's no doubt about that. But Anthony Joshua has the kind of global appeal. Is it something that you consider to take him certainly to the States, around the world to fight, to build his brand, or does he just have to be here and be on TV in the world?
No, we're up for doing that. We're up for doing that for sure. I mean, like you say, a lot of the American fighters are coming here now for paydays. Charles Martin got probably 3 times plus what he could have got to fight in the US, and we're trying to do the same with Broner and Garcia to fight Brook, and I think we can get the number, to be honest with you. But more importantly, I think here is the base. Don't rule out America. Don't rule out the Far East either. We're looking at opportunities out there for Anthony Joshua, and he's exciting. He's a heavyweight that's I don't know a more exciting heavyweight out there in the world at the moment who's got that style that just ignites the arena. And you know every time he fights what you're going to get. You're going to get knockouts, you're going to get power, you're going to get speed, and you're going to get a lot of class.
And you're going to get a lot of entertainment. What I got tonight, what you got tonight, I appreciate you hosting me. You've always put on a great promotion. Thank you so much. Radio Raheem with Ed Hearn, Sky Sports, brought to you by William Hill here at the O2 Arena. Good night, man. Thank you.